The Clip Properties window in AI allows you to easily make changes to your clip, control its playback, and change how the clip is triggered. Let's have a look at the Clip Properties window itself. So from within the Performance page, if I right-click on one of these clips, we should see the Clip Properties window. So there are three main areas to this window. On the left, it's more about the triggering and control of the clip. In the middle, we have a preview and some information about the clip. And on the right, we can do some basic editing of the clip itself. So first of all, let's start in the middle with the information. So obviously we see a nice big preview of the clip itself in the middle. Just under that we can see a representation of the playhead, so we can see roughly how far through the clip we are there. And then under the playhead there's some information itself. We have the frames per second for the clip and the current playhead position. We have the complete name and resolution of the clip, including its format there at the end. And at the end we've got the complete clip time and frame rate. Now on the right we can do some basic editing of our clip. We can adjust things like the brightness, the contrast and the gain of the clip. We can also add a hue change to the clip itself. And we have got the useful reset button down the bottom, so if you've been fiddling and you can't quite find those original values, you can easily reset. We can also adjust things like the positioning of the clip, the sizing of the clip. Let's just do that. And we can even crop the clip. There we go. Let's just bring that one in a little bit more. And we can even add some soft edging to that clip. I quite like adding the soft edging when I don't want a hard, rigid looking picture-in-picture to be used. Let's just have a look at how that would apply now. So if I just choose my top layer and trigger that clip, we can see that we're only seeing that part that I've cropped and soft edged. So let's just go back to that clip. So again, right click to open it up, click on my reset to defaults. Okay, so the right side is quite nice and easy to understand. Let's have a further look at the left side, because this adds a lot of power to the clips. So at the very top we've got some information, so we can see the name of the clip and the current location. There's a couple of options to either open the folder that contains the clip or to open it in an external application. Both of these can be useful if you're having problems playing back a clip. So open folder will allow you to locate the clip so that you can maybe give it to someone else to try, and open externally will open in another player such as QuickTime. So it lets you check whether you're having a playback problem altogether or whether it's an AI specific problem. Edit as patch allows us to assign an effect specifically to the clip. The benefit of this is it's separate of the layer effects, so that it means I can have several instances of the same clip and have a different effect applied to each of those. So if I just press the configure button and enable the clip, we can see already we've got this vignetting here. And if I close that one down, we can choose to save that. Then the next time I trigger that clip, we have that vignette on the clip as well. Okay, so I'm just going to right click to open that up again. Let me just go back in there and just turn off that effect. Brilliant. Save. Okay, and let's have a look at some of the other options. So the label option is a really useful option there. Now normally when our clips are here in the tiles, we can't really tell which one's which other than by using the thumbnail. So I can put a name into the label box. I'm going to call this one clip 1, and then we should see that name on the clip itself, so it just makes identifying a little bit easier for you. So next up we've got the ArtNet ID. So this allows us to specify an ArtNet value which will trigger the specified clip. We've also got a speed option here as well. So by default when you play a clip back on the layer, it will use the layer speed unless we have a special speed specified here. And you can also reset that one there. It has the same value range, so it's 0 to 1000%, with the very left being a reset to 100%. Thumbnail frame determines which numbered frame is used as the image in the media tiles here. So if I give this one a quick alteration, let's just jump through there, and hopefully we can see it's a slightly different clip there now, different frame there now. A way that I quite like to do that actually is when you drag the in and out points here at the bottom, you can see those numbers change as well. Okay, so let's go down a little bit further. So play mode, so you can specify a play mode that will be used by this clip when it plays on the layer. So again, unless we've specified a play mode, it will use the layer play mode. But maybe we just want this one particular clip to be on play once mode. So now when I trigger, so you can see that I can either select from the drop down here or actually enter that number. Now when I trigger, this clip will trigger specifically on that play mode, but all other clips will use the standard specified layer play mode. So a buddy group I've touched on in another tutorial. It allows us to have multiple clips triggering from a single click. You could enter a value of 1 to 255 in there. MIDI trigger note, same thing. If we want to trigger with a MIDI keyboard, we can enter a numerical value for the MIDI note there. And again, with timecode trigger, we have a similar situation, so we can use timecode to trigger the playback of a clip. So we can either do that from the main interface by using the home button, or we can enter that value directly into this number box here. The in and out frame allows us to change our loop points. You can see that as I adjust those there, it's adjusting on the bottom as well. I'm going to just bring that in so that we can see that loop point being very small. There we go. So we now see the playhead repeating between those loop points. So the transition period and transition mode are very useful as well. So again, any clip which is played on the layer will use the default crossfade mode and crossfade time. So here we can enter a specific period of time. So for instance, I'm now typing 10 will tell this clip to take 10 seconds to fade in. And again, we can actually choose that blend mode type, and the numbers here relate to the list, the drop-down list of the blend modes available from the layer. Follow actions we've touched on in another tutorial. It's a way of sequencing the tiles in the main performance page. You can put options in there such as left, right, up, down, first, last, go to a specific ArtNet channel number, or even random, and it allows you to do complex sequencing of videos without the need for a use of a timeline. Playing on layers is for information only. It just gives us information telling us which fixtures and layers the clip is currently playing on. Trigger on layer allows us to lock the clip to a specific layer, which is great if you have certain content which is very sensitive to its position in the mix. Let's say, for instance, you have a company logo which you always want on your top layer over everything. And sync offset frames relates to synchronization groups. So synchronization groups, what we can do with that, we can choose one of our clips to be the source. So we can see that this one here is the source. Then we can make other clips listen to that source. So if I was making a listener, I would choose group 1 if my master is on group 1, my source. And then the playback of the frames between those videos is synchronized and controlled specifically by the source video. So as you can see, there's a lot of power here in the right click clip properties window of AI, from changing how and when it's triggered to actually changing the size, look and shape of it on the screen.